Hip-hop gospel artist Lecrae is signing with Columbia Records. The Atlanta-based artist signed with the company after a decade of success with his own label, Reach Records. Columbia is the biggest label under Sony Music, and Lecrae will join some of the most popular names in music like Beyonce, Adele, and Pharrell Williams. Lecrae has helped to bring a faith message to hip-hop. His latest album, Anomaly, debuted at #1 on the Billboard Top 200 albums, and his hit single, All I Need Is You, earned him the 2015 nomination for Best Rap Performance. Congratulations, Lecrae.
Congratulations, Lecrae. That makes me sick. The Christian Broadcasting Network congratulating Lecrae because he signed on to the same label as Beyonce, as if that's an honor? Today we're going to discuss this issue head on, as we've done before, in a more concise way. Ministries like X Ministries, even Jesus Ministries, he's made a lot of videos on hip-hop in the Christian music industry. I myself have made a lot of videos on it. I will post links to those videos at the end of this video so that you can see a longer version of this. But you have to understand that the scriptures tell us in Deuteronomy 12:31, "Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hateth." What did it say there? He hateth have they done unto their gods. For even their sons and their daughters have they burnt in the fire to their gods. Christianity Today has an article, Lecrae makes a major career move to join Beyonce, Adele, and Pharrell. Why is this such a cool thing? Let's take a look at Beyonce for a moment here, because I have read in a lot of comments to all of these articles, wow, he's gonna do it, he's gonna collab with her, he's gonna do this with her. Well, this is who your boy has joined hands with. Here is Beyonce, because all of you are proud that he is now on the same label as Beyonce, so let's take a look at what he has just joined into. These are words from her latest album, Lemonade. Quote unquote, "I swallowed a sword, I levitated." Is that Christian that she's levitating? Oh, okay, let's keep on reading. "Went to the basement, confessed my sins, and was baptized in a river. I got on my knees and said amen and said I mean." Check this out. "I whipped my own back and asked for dominion at your feet. I threw myself into a volcano. I drank the blood." Does that sound something that is enlightening Jesus Christ, that she's drinking blood? "And drank the wine. I sat alone and begged and bent at the waist for God. I crossed myself and thought I saw the devil. I grew thickened skin on my feet. I bathed in bleach," and here it goes, folks, "and plugged my menses with pages from the holy book."
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Her menses, folks. Do I need to get explicit on here? She's talking about a tampon. She's using the scriptures as a tampon. Here on this illustration here, you see her at the top with her hand. She has the all-seeing eye. At the bottom, she has the Baphomet. On the right of that, she has the pyramid. Now, I've heard a phrase, and I've heard it many times, and people say it differently, but the first time is a mistake. The second time, it's a coincidence, right? But the third time, it's habitual. The third time is a pattern. You're seeing things with Beyonce, with Jay-Z, that are demonic. Because as you can see, she wants to clog up her menses with a page from the holy book. Are you crazy, Lecrae? What are you thinking, dude? But I can already hear his fans. "But Tally, don't you have a job?" Oh, we're gonna answer that pretty soon, because you're acting like Lecrae is jobless. He's not. Lecrae is a millionaire off the backs of the Christians that have bought those CDs and have supported him. And now he's just gonna sell out. Well, we've warned you that this was gonna happen. Many of us have warned you that this was gonna happen, but you did not listen. Ezekiel 8:37, before we continue with Andy Mineo. "Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose. They put the branch to their nose." The audacity of these people, it makes me sick, man. Here you have Andy Mineo, right? Check this out. As I mentioned, the first time you see something, hey, you know what? It was a mistake. Maybe it's a mistake that he's wearing a Wu-Tang hat. Never mind that millions of little Christians idolize this man, right? And he's supposed to set an example. And hey, maybe it's a mistake that he put on a Wu-Tang hat. Wu-Tang's beliefs are as demonic as they come. You should check him out and you'll see. Twice, it could be a coincidence. Maybe it's a coincidence that when he made the Neverland album, he had a skeleton with only a 1 C and I. But wait a minute, we see more. The third time, now we have a pattern here, folks. On the right of this slide, you'll see that he has 2 images. Those images would flip on his website. On one end, it would show him normal, and on Saturday through Sunday morning, he would show up as a one-eyed skeleton. Then we have at the bottom left, the Neverland album cover. Now we're going into the 4th time. Here you have skulls, the lightning bolt, the all-seeing eye, a whole bunch of things here that are symbolic of witchcraft. On the bottom right, you see the same pattern. There's a problem in the Christian industry. Skillet, Awake, it has it there. We spoke about this 2 years ago, folks. 2 years ago, and none of you wanted to listen to people that were warning you. But here you go. Here you go. There is a big problem in the Christian music industry. The Bible in 2 Corinthians 6:14-17, it tells us, "Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? And what concord has Christ with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel?" I want you to take a look at this. Take a look at this slide on the screen. Can you notice the difference? If you already in your mind did not think that Toby Mac was a Christian, did not think that Andy Mineo is a Christian, did not think that Skillet was a Christian band, quote unquote Christian, would you be able to tell the difference on this slide of who is a believer and who isn't? You couldn't. You know why? Ezekiel 22:26. "Her priests have violated my law and have profaned mine holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and the profane. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbath, and I am profane among them." You are supposed to see a difference between the holy and the profane. You see no difference there. The same one-eye symbolism that you see in the industry, you see it up there. And by the way, remember how they're touting that Lecrae has joined Adele and Beyonce? Look at Adele in the bottom left. She also has the one-eye symbolism there. Now before you start saying, "Tally, you ate a Dorito, Illuminati," quit with the ignorance. That's not what I'm pointing out here. We have a major problem, and you're looking at the screen at people doing the same type of symbolism in the industry of Hollywood, in the music industry of Hollywood, and in the Christian music industry as well. There is a very big demonic problem, but you want to ignore it. Let's look at other examples. We're supposed to see a difference between the holy and the profane. Here is another slide. Can you tell the difference between the Christian and the non-Christian on this line? If you didn't know Triple E was a Christian, and you simply saw this slide for what it was, you would see that every single one of these bands, including Kanye, is wearing the Phoenix Rising. Each one of these bands is proclaiming that the Phoenix is going to rise from the ashes. The Grateful Dead, Gene Clark, Kanye West, Behemoth, a satanic band, they're all proclaiming, including Triple E, that the Phoenix is going to rise, and that is demonic. I'm going to post a link to this video as well so that you can see a full breakdown of that. I'm trying to be concise here and condense this. And you'll notice that on where Triple E's banner is up top, it says Built to Brag. When you visit Built to Brag, you'll see their Phoenix right there on the front page as well. What is this obsession with the rising Phoenix? You'll see on the video if you click on the one I'm showing you right now. Reach Records. They have the Rising Phoenix items on their website as well. And I'm showing you here so that you can see. You have the phoenix rising, and you have the halo around the phoenix as well. The same type of items that you can buy in the world, you have them in the church. And they even have a shirt that says rise. Why do they want the phoenix to rise? Folks, listen. For many years, I've spoken on this topic. Many others have spoken on this topic. It doesn't give any of us joy that we're saying that, hey, look, it's happened. It's not I told you so. Listen, it's not that. As I indicated to you, once it could be a mistake. Twice, hey, it's a coincidence. But we're now seeing it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. It is a pattern of ungodliness within the hip-hop industry in Christianity. And you have to be careful. Because God tells us, you see, this is the difference. There's a lot of you already making excuses for Lecrae. Listen to me. 4 or 5 years ago, when he was putting out albums independently from anybody, God was supplying for him. He was already a millionaire. He had no need to sign this contract other than them providing him more fame. But in doing that, your boss now, the one that writes your check, is the same one that writes it for Beyonce, who wants the Bible to be her tampon, is the one who's writing it for Adele with the one-eye symbolism, is the one who controls Pharrell with his homosexuality. It's a big difference than you saying, oh, but you have a job and you work at 7-Eleven or you work at a gas station, the oil company. This is the excuses that people who have hip-hop as an idol make. If God has gifted you with the ability to write poetry, you're supposed to do it in the beauty of holiness. Psalm 96:9, oh, worship the Lord in the beauty of what? Of holiness. Fear before him all the earth. Psalm 29:2, give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. He tells you how to worship the Lord. If God has blessed you with the gift to sing, then you better sing in holiness, you better sing in the beauty of holiness, and you better have fear. You better fear the wrath of God, man. Because he's going to hold you accountable, Lecrae. If you know Lecrae, share this with him on Facebook. Go to his Facebook, share it with him, share it with anybody you know. I want you to know that God is going to hold each one of you accountable for spreading this filth. Because worship music is something meant to bring the people of God in one communion with God, but the people of this world have perverted it. And now it's simply become a means to make a little nickel and a little dollar, but you can keep your nickel, you can keep your dollar, and you're headed straight to hell with it. And it's going to be a sad day when you're in hell, next to Beyonce, next to the Jay-Z's, lamenting over joining the industry. But it doesn't have to be that way, Beyonce's. It doesn't have to be that way, Jay-Z's. It doesn't have to be that way, Lecrae's. There is hope. That hope is found in Jesus. If you believe and you repent, God is faithful, man. God can restore, man. I don't know if you can hear the urgency in my voice. It makes me sad that worship has become an industry. I'm very saddened on this day. And I ask that you pray for Lecrae and all of the people that follow him. Remember in Deuteronomy 12:30 what it says. God's going to hold you accountable, folks. Take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them. After that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. That's what's happening here. God blessed Lecrae with his own label, and you throwing it away for a little few extra bucks and dollars. And don't tell me that this is to spread the gospel, because folks, look at the church ever since the hip-hop industry came into the church. Look at it and tell me if America is more holy now or if it was more holy 10 years ago. It hasn't had the impact. You know why? Because you're profaning the holy thing. The one thing that distinguished you church was holiness. And we've stopped worshiping God in the spirit of holiness. And this is why you have sleep paralysis. This is why you have your kids medicated. This is why your kids are anxious, depressed. This is why families are divorcing left and right. This is why the black community's where it's at, the Hispanic community's where it's at. You don't understand, but the devil's using every means to destroy the people. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a crazy Puerto Rican, right? I'm just a crazy Puerto Rican. That's fine. That's all good. But at the end of the day, know that Jesus is the answer. And if you want to follow and you want to worship God like the heathens, beware. Beware. Because God will hold you accountable. God bless you guys.